This past week, 760 new stalls were opened in the United States and Canada. This number has decreased each week for the past 3 weeks. I'm not quite sure why, but that is what has been occurring. We currently have 51,263 stalls total. This is the estimates from the National Renewable Energies Laboratory 2023 study indicating how many cars will be on the road in 2030. And according to them, we would need 180,000 DC fast charger public ports by 2030 in order to accommodate that. So we are 27.5% the way there. This week, Pilot Flying J added 2 stations, Tesla added 4 stations, and I should note that even though Tesla laid off their entire Supercharger team and is in the process of hiring a portion of them back, they have never posted a week without opening stations. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but the hype around the Supercharger network collapsing is unfounded, at least as far as the data goes. Electrify America posted one, and I would like to mention Electrify America. The one station that they posted into the database is from a partner. It's not actually a native Electrify America station. And I'll show you in the data in a second. But I did go through because it was really bothering me that they're not posting any data of their own. And I know they're opening stations. And it looks like as the database has entries, they cluster a whole bunch of Electrify America station entries all at once, like 30 entries all at once. So they must do uploads in bulk periodically. And I don't know on what interval, but they have not uploaded any of the data for their native stations since I've been doing this. ChargePoint added 19 stations. It should be noted that ChargePoint records every dispenser as a station, assuming it's a CPE 250. If it's a CPE plus, then it is 2 stalls per dispenser. But anyway, their numbers are a little bit inflated. EVgo added 1 station. EV Connect added 10 stations. The Rivian Adventure Network did not have anything open this week. Let's go ahead and get into the data. The first one is Pilot Flying J. They opened 2 stations. Right down here, one in Pembroke, New York, near the Buffalo area and the Canadian border, and another one in Carnesville, Georgia, which is on Interstate 85 in between Greenville, South Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia. Next one is Tesla. They opened 4, 3 8 stalls and 1 12 stall. Fremont, California, and then 1 in Indiana, 1 in Wilmington, Utah, and 1 in Lexington, Nebraska. Next one is Electrify America. And this RPM is the partner, and it's in Vernal, Utah. There are 6 stalls. Next one is ChargePoint. Nothing really to call out. New Mexico, the Department of Transportation installed 4 CPE 250s, it looks like. This one right here, the second from the bottom in Huntersville, North Carolina, is actually pretty close to my house. And let me show what that looks like. So it's a ChargePoint Express Plus. They used to have a CPE 250 with a CHAdeMO and a CCS handle and then one J1772 ChargePoint. And it was breaking because of age, so they replaced it with this one. And it has 2 CCS handles. So when we look in ChargePoint's data, and you see a 2 next to it, it's a ChargePoint Express. ChargePoint Express Plus, similar to this one. And the way it works is the power for those actually come from these power bricks that are placed elsewhere on the property near the utility feed. And then the dispenser has 2 handles, able to dispense up to 400 kilowatts depending on how many power bricks and cabinets are paired. The next one is EVgo. Richmond, Virginia, 4 stalls, a Target. Next one is EV Connect. 10 stations, a couple of them fairly large. 6 stalls for EV Connect is pretty big. Most of the time it's just a single stall, but they're starting to increase their counts pretty significantly. Northbrook, Illinois, that used to be where I lived when I was growing up, or close to it. I lived in the town of Glenview. Okay, and there's a couple of honorable mentions. The first one I'm going to mention is Shell Recharge. I have several additional CPOs that I track, and when they start to pick up steam, I mention them. And Shell Recharge has definitely been picking up steam for sure. In the month of May, they did this Brookshire, Texas one, which is close to a Pilot Flying J that also opened. And then they started to really pick up steam. And if you look, here's an 8 stall in Midland, Texas. Opened up just this cycle. And another 8 stall in San Antonio, Texas. So they're headquartered in Houston, I believe, and that's why they're targeting these areas, I'm assuming. But there's also Washington with 2 stalls. They do partner with other CPOs, like private CPOs, and they do the back-end processing for them, so this might not be an actual Shell location. I'm thinking most of the ones in Texas are, though, but we can go look this up in PlugShare. I'm thinking I'm going to start tracking them because their inertia is definitely started to pick up steam. The other one I want to mention is, I don't actually know how to pronounce the name of this CPO. Maybe someone else does. Inelex, something like that. They came under my attention because they had some West Virginia stations. And anyone who's been through West Virginia knows it's slim pickings. So anyone who is building in West Virginia has caught my attention, and these are one of them. However, just this last cycle, they opened all these ones in New Mexico. But it looks like from PlugShare, these have been open for a couple of weeks, and they just got around to adding them into the database. So still, I think that's pretty significant. So New Mexico, which has very slim pickings as far as chargers go, has just got to build out from an Xcelux. And these are like 50 kilowatt dispensers. They're not really significant, but at least it's better than nothing. Anyway, thanks for watching.